and welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you my October TBR. I'm actually going to just keep this with just like a general October TBR. I probably will participate in readathons this month, but I'm going to wait to put together a TBR for those later on. So keep your eye on for that. But for now, let's just go ahead and get into my October TBR. So first up, I do want to continue on with reading Before She Ignites by Jodi Meadows. I didn't get a chance to actually finish this last month. I'm a little ways into it, I think. Yeah, 141 pages into it currently. I think it's okay. It's going okay so far. It moves a little bit slower paced and the writing is very... I think that this book may be targeted for like younger young adults. I'm not 100% certain, but that's kind of how it's reading to me right now. But this of course follows Mira, who lives in a world where there are dragons and a society that has made a Mira treaty, which is based on the date of her birth. And she ends up in prison due to something that happened. We don't know what it was that landed her in prison, but it follows her currently, as I'm reading, in this prison as she is adapting to the life and learning how to make friends with people who are different from her, and learning how to deal with the fact that she's now forced to use other things than just her beauty, which is what she was normally accustomed to using before. It's a good book so far. I do want to finish it hopefully in the next couple of days just to get done with it. I was buddy reading this with some friends and I fell behind like always, so hopefully I can read this soon. And next up, I did not finish this either in my previous month in September, but I do want to finish Bitter Kingdom by Rae Carson. This is the final book in the Girl, Fire, and Thorn series. I think probably like 100 or so pages into it. I am listening to it via audiobook because I really enjoy the audiobooks for this series. And this one's actually told in dual perspective, which is always really cool. This series follows a girl who is made a queen of a country and she's kind of learning how to be queen. It follows, she has a godstone in her belly, which basically means that she is like prophesized by God to have like this remarkable life and to do something positive in the world, hopefully. So it's really interesting. There's a lot of politics in this book, which is always really awesome. There's some romance. There's really everything in it, and I really enjoy that about this series, and I cannot wait to conclude it finally. And of course, I did not also get to this either in my September TBR, but that is Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. I feel so bad I haven't read this yet because I'm such a big fan. This of course is Kale's story. It takes place during Empire of Storms, and it follows like, you know, what's going on with him during that. I don't want to give too much away as this is a later book in the Throne of Glass series, but I'm really excited to read this. Hopefully I can get to it soon. I definitely want to get to it before the end of the month when Kingdom of Ash, the final book in the Throne of Glass series, comes out. So keep me to it. I want to read this. Hopefully I can do it soon. Next up are two books that I also feel kind of guilty that I haven't read yet, and that is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is like a villain story. I'm so excited to read this book. I've had it on like a million TBRs now and just have never gotten to it, and I'm finally going to do it because I'm going to be buddy reading Vengeful, which is the second book in the series that just released just a couple of weeks ago. And of course I don't know if it's a companion or a direct sequel, I'm not sure yet, but I really want to get to these two books. I'm going to be buddy reading this with some friends, and hopefully that will encourage me to finish it. I was also really surprised. I really like that Vengeful's a little bit longer than Vicious, so that's really nice, and I love both of these covers. I think that they look so nice together on the shelf. I really like the red and the black, so hopefully I can get to these soon. Next up, I am also going to be buddy reading Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian with some friends. I don't know a lot about this book. On the back here it says Princess, Prisoner, Orphan, Rebel. Sounds like it follows the Ash Princess Theo, which is like supposed to be like a shameful name as her kingdom was invaded and taken over. I think this is the first book in a series. I'm really interested to find out where it kind of goes from there, and hopefully I will enjoy it. I've had it on my shelf since it released, so hopefully I can get to it soon. And finally, I would really like to read You by Caroline Kepnes? I'm not sure how to say her last name. This is the cover that's like with the TV show that's on Lifetime now. So I know absolutely nothing about this book. It says, when a beautiful aspiring writer strides into the East Village bookstore where Joe Goldberg works, he does what anyone would do. He Googles the name on her credit card. Okay, first of all, Who does that? There's only one Guinevere Beck in New York City. She has a public Facebook account and tweets incessantly, telling Joe everything he needs to know. She is simply Beck to her friends. She went to Brown University, she lives on Bank Street, and she'll be at a bar in Brooklyn tonight. The perfect place for a chance meeting. As Joe invisibly and obsessively takes control of Beck's life, he begins quietly removing the obstacles that stand in the way of their love. Joe will do anything to ensure Beck finds herself in his waiting arms, even if it means murder. Okay, so this is like a thriller kind of sounding like book. I'm not sure. I'm really interested in it. I've heard it getting like a lot of praise like for the TV show, so if I really enjoy this, then I will of course, you know, try to check out the TV show, but that is what I would like to read. So here is my October TBR. This is just the general TBR of books that I would like to read throughout this month. I will probably participate in some readathons. Maybe I can fit some of these into those, but if I do come up with any readathons, then I will of course post a TBR for those. If you are reading any of these books this month, let me know. Maybe we could buddy read them, but I will see you soon. Bye!